2, 1, go!
Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm KingNido and we are here in Humalaya City as the water type cascades are facing the Shamuti Keepers, the flying type starting out with a massive Dragonite and Scyther combination, whereas it is Kingdra and Arctivish starting out for the Humalaya Cascade. We have two Dragon types on the field right now as Scyther going for the super effective Thunderfang onto Arctivish, a fantastic start. Kingdra is going to respond with the Confusion onto the bug flying type, and this is going to leave Scyther confused, so this is a fantastic start for the Cascade as Dragonite following Scyther up with the stomp there onto Arctivish. Looks like they want to get Arctivish off the field, who goes for the Fire Blast onto Dragonite. This won't be very effective, definitely should have gone for Scyther with that move as Scyther tries to shake off that confusion and is unable to, doing damage to itself. Kingdra going for the Fell Stinger there onto its fellow Dragon type. Both these sides do have a 3-3 record so far this season as Dragonite with the Slash continuing to go for Arctivish, who is holding on as it goes for a Pollen Puff there onto Scyther. Not very effective move, but it does get the critical hit, helping it out there. Scyther still in its confusion, is unable to get the attack off, does hurt itself in its confusion yet again, and now Kingdra with the Poison Sting going for Dragonite. Dragonite does not get poisoned though, and goes for the Circle Throw. So this is going to send its fellow Dragon off the field, and out in its place comes Blastoise, the Cantonian starter Pokemon, being dragged out as Arctivish sets up a Misty Terrain on the field. This mist will swirl on the battlefield, but Dragonite surely does not like seeing that Misty Terrain on the field. Dragon types are weak to Fairy type moves as Scyther, still in its confused state, this time is able to shake it off, goes for the Vine Whip onto Arctivish, and Arctivish is eliminated with that super effective move. I do not think it needed the super effectiveness though. Dragonite though with a wing attack onto Blastoise, capitalizing on its flying typing, as a Sacred Fire from Blastoise is going to eliminate Scyther. So the Humalaya Cascade have been able to respond strong and get an elimination of their own, as we have Braviary come out for the Keepers and Kingdra comes back out for the Cascade. Kingdra immediately going for the Eerie Impulse onto Dragonite. Looks like Kingdra really wants to get Dragonite off this field, lowering its special attack a great deal there. Braviary going with the Ancient Power onto the Dragon Water type. Kingdra taking that damage, and Dragonite now going with the Taunt. It's going to taunt Blastoise with that, which is going to prevent Blastoise setting up for a move this turn and look for it to struggle in the future, as Kingdra going for a Splash, surely mocking Gyarados, who was drafted to the Shamuti Keepers there. As that Reflect from Braviary will make the Keepers stronger against physical type moves. And now Dragonite going with the Nasty Plot, so it's going to boost its special attack stat back up, and Blastoise, having no moves left, does go for the struggle onto Dragonite, doing minimal damage, doing more to itself with the recoil damage. As Kingdra with the Forest Curse is going to add the Grass typing now to Dragonite. So Dragonite having that Grass typing now will be fascinating to see. But a Reflect type now is going to change Braviary from a normal flying to a Water type, copying that of Blastoise. Now, as I said, both these sides do have a 3-3 record, but whoever wins here could potentially work their way up into the Masters 8 as Blastoise continuing to struggle, doing more damage to itself. It does finally shake that Taunt off though, and the mist will disappear from the battlefield as Kingdra going for the Super Fang now onto Dragonite. A good hit there on the Dragon Flying type as Dragonite begins to absorb Light through a Solar Blade. This will be a fantastic hit. It will charge up this turn and connect on the next one as a Flower Shield from Braviary is going to boost Dragonite's defense here as Blastoise flies up high into the sky. It's going to shoot itself up with those cannons. It's going to connect with that fly on the next turn, but a Strength Sap from Kingdra is going to suck the attack stat down out of Braviary, and Kingdra is going to restore itself back up to full strength with that move as Dragonite with the Solar Blade. Blastoise avoids it though because of that fly, and it avoids the Pin Missile as well, and now Blastoise comes down from high in that sky onto Braviary, doing damage there. Good hit. Kingdra follows it up with a Flame Charge onto Dragonite, and Kingdra does get a speed boost there. Now Dragonite going for the Bone Meringue onto Blastoise, and Blastoise is eliminated with one hit from the Bone Meringue. Fantastic there by Dragonite. This will allow Braviary to go for the Freeze Dry onto the Dragon type Kingdra, so it's going to get massive damage there. Super effective as the Reflect does wear off for the Keepers, and we have Vaporeon coming out for the Cascade. And that Acid from Kingdra is super effective on the Grass type Dragonite, but it is responded by Braviary going for the Spirit Shackle now onto Kingdra, but Kingdra is able to hold on. It can no longer escape though, and now Dragonite with the blue flare could finish it off, but instead goes for Vaporeon. Vaporeon taking its first damage of this matchup. Not very effective, but it is left with the burn status condition. Now Vaporeon going for the Dragon Dance. So with that, it is going to boost its attack stat and its speed. See if it can move faster than the flying type Pokemon. So as Dragonite's electromagnetism does wear off, and Kingdra now with the rising voltage going for Braviary here. Super effective on the water type Braviary. Remember, it did copy the typing of Blastoise earlier, and now a reversal from Vaporeon onto Braviary, who responds with a Pluck. This is going to take the Leopard Berry from Vaporeon as well as doing damage to it. Braviary does proceed to hit that Leopard Berry right in its face, and Dragonite follows it up with an Ancient Power onto the Evolution. Vaporeon taking a lot of hits here, as well as taking more damage from that burn. Now Kingdra is going to go for a Pluck of its own onto Dragonite. Dragonite is eliminated with that super effective move. Remember, it did gain the Grass typing, so Kingdra is going to eat the Leopard Berry of Dragonite in front of Braviary. Great play there by Kingdra. Crush Claw is avoided by Braviary, and Braviary now going for the Shell Smash. It will lower both its defense and special defense, but it's going to boost its attack, special attack, and speed a great deal here. So if it can capitalize on those boosts, that'll be fantastic for the keepers. As it is now a 4 versus 4 battle, and out onto the field comes Gyarados, who was mocked earlier with that splash from Kingdra, and with that Intimidate ability, it will lower the attack stat of both the water type Pokemon. Braviary now with the Shell Sidearm is going to finish Kingdra off as well, give the keepers an early lead at this middle stage of the matchup. And Vaporeon now going for the Calm Mind, very Calm Mind, and that is going to boost its special attack and special defense stat there. As Gyarados going for the Snipe Shot, it will get the stab boost being a water type, but it's not going to be very effective on its fellow water type Pokemon. Vaporeon also taking damage from that burn still. It is going to be an easy target as Milotic now comes out and receives a Shadow Punch from Braviary. Great hit there. Vaporeon going with the Glare. This is going to leave Braviary paralyzed. So with that paralysis status condition, it is going to lower its speed a great deal, and a Parting Shot now from Gyarados is going to lower Vaporeon's attack and special attack, and Gyarados goes back to the bench, and this is fantastic because with that Intimidate ability, when it comes out again, it will lower the stats of the water type Pokemon, the attack stats of the water type Pokemon yet again. But Milotic first, going with a Volt Tackle onto Braviary. Braviary is eliminated with that super effective move. Remember, it was water typing, but still would have been super effective due to it originally being a fly type Pokemon. And Gyarados now coming back out onto the field. Again, that Intimidate ability lowers the attack of Vaporeon, lowers the attack of Milotic. This is a great strategy by the keepers. And Vaporeon now going for the Icicle Crash. And that move is going to fall down onto Gyarados. That water type and preventing it from being super effective. Milotic with the Soak is going to make Gyarados just a sole water type Pokemon. As Gyarados now with the Hyper Beam. A huge move onto Milotic, but Milotic takes that really well, and now Corviknight with the Mega Drain onto Vaporeon. Super effective, but Vaporeon takes that hit quite well, but the burn is what finally gets Vaporeon out of this matchup. And now Wailord coming out as the last Pokemon for the Cascade, and with that pressure ability, it will make the flying types use 2 PP for every time they go for a move, and another Calm Mind be performed by the Himalaya Cascade. Milotic is going to boost its special stats here. That's special attack and special defense, getting a boost. Calm Mind. Gyarados having to recharge after the Hyper Beam, and a Quiver Dance from Corviknight is going to boost Corviknight's special attack and special defense. Everyone's boosting these special stats here. Topsy-turvy now does fail from Wailord, and Corviknight going for the Power Gem onto Wailord. Wailord taking its first damage of the matchup, and Milotic with the Glaciate onto Gyarados and Corviknight. Now Gyarados, it won't be very effective on because it is only a water type now. Corviknight will have its speed stat lowered, as does Gyarados. See if the Cascade can move quicker now, and Wailord with the Tickle is going to lower those physical stats of Corviknight, now lowering both the attack and defense stat. Gyarados with the Absorb, this will be super effective going for Wailord. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, but still it gets some health restored for Gyarados. A good play there. As we get our first time warning now, Milotic shoots out a sticky web onto the side of the keepers, but no one's going to land in that because they are flying. Well, not Gyarados anymore, but a grassy terrain is set up by Corviknight, so look for all the water-type Pokemon on the field right now to be restoring health from that grassy terrain, and that includes Gyarados. Wailord, though, with a Spatial Rend onto Corviknight. Not a bad hit, though. It wasn't very effective. The critical hit did help it do more damage, and Gyarados with the Circle Throw onto Wailord. A fantastic hit there as we get another time warning. Looks like we could potentially be going into overtime, and if that happens, everyone will be restored back to full strength who hasn't been eliminated, and it will become a one-on-one battle as opposed to a double battle. But Milotic going for the double team. Looks like they're going to try and drag this out to make it a one-on-one matchup, as Milotic does boost its evasiveness. But Corviknight with the Oblivion Wing, and it goes for Milotic, so it's able to connect, but Milotic is holding on. Corviknight is able to restore some of its health, and remember, we don't even know who the last Pokemon of the Shimuto Keepers is yet, as Wailord with the Swords Dance is going to give itself a nice attack boost there. So it is preparing itself as we are in the final stages of Vice Grip is avoided by Milotic from Gyarados. And there's that health being restored thanks to the grassy terrain. That clock is ticking. These sides need to get some huge hits. I do not think we're going to see the last Pokemon from the Shimuto Keepers in this. So it looks like we should be going to overtime. Milotic, though, with the Retaliate on Gyarados, does not do a great deal of damage there. And now Corviknight has a chance. Goes for the Aqua Jet. This isn't going to be very effective on the Water-type Wailord. And Wailord going with the Splash. It is mocking Gyarados. Clearly looking to go into overtime, but Gyarados is going to go for the Explosion. It must be in a rage. And that huge explosion takes out Gyarados, but more importantly, it takes out both Water-type Pokemon. And in its rage, Gyarados has gotten the victory for the Shimuto Keepers, taking both Wailord and Milotic out. We will not be going into overtime. The Keepers have won it there with the clock at 0. That is a huge victory for them. And they're going to want to look to do that again when they face the Coney Spring next round. But that has actually moved them into 8th place. They are now in the Masters 8. The Humiya Cascade have lost a huge match here. And they're going to want to look to do better next round when they face the Surchester Forest. But in our next matchup, it is a huge match. The Pony Canyon Fissure will be hosting the Opelousas Draconids. This will have huge ramifications because both these sides could move up into 2nd place. It will be 3rd versus 5th. But until then, Nidorinas and Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, please leave a like, share, subscribe. It always helps out. More importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I will see you when you see me.